Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the DIY Wrestling Podcast for Smackdown Live. My name is Gordon Masson. How are you guys doing tonight? Well, early into the morning. And like I said, this is the DIY Wrestling Podcast. And overall, if I'm rating Smackdown Live, I mean, by no means was it bad. But this was, if I'm naming this episode between the middle tier, upper tier, and lower tier, I'd say this is a middle tier where it's just like it wasn't bad for me, but it wasn't like there were things that got advanced, but like when you're building to a match at Survivor Series where it's just which team is gonna win, which side is better, Raw or SmackDown, it's really hard to make me actually care. Like, obviously, the big match they're gonna make Raw win, and even if they make SmackDown win, what do guys gain from this? I mean, let's look at the match the last couple of years. I mean, Dolph Ziggler won it, and then what happened to him? The dude didn't get anything for the next whatever. Now, if Roman Reigns was around and he was supposed to still win it again and be the Survivor Series full survivor again, then he probably would have got something out of it, and that would have led to his WrestleMania main event that year, which either way, he got it. It doesn't mean much to me. The one for the girls doesn't mean much to me, and the one for the tag teams doesn't mean much to me, except for Breeze and Fandango to get television time. So, I mean, that's just that to me. I just don't find myself in any way, shape, or form caring about this. Not one bit. No, not at all. But like I said, overall, it didn't make me just barf everywhere like Raw usually would, and I'd be sitting here shaking my fist at Raw. Because we ain't going on that train. We ain't riding that. We ain't riding that horsey, all right? Okay. So let's break down this show so I can play Madden, probably go see somebody, and then go to sleep and get ready to go on with my day, and then pop out to reviews. By the way, last week, internet was acting completely stupid. That's honestly, I didn't really want to bring this up, but that's honestly why things have been a little slowly. Internet's been acting kind of stupid. I've been popping out my career videos when I can. It's kind of why I stopped Universe Mode, because I'm scared of when the PlayStation's just gonna go boop, and then you got to make part 1, part 2, part 3 for all that stuff. Last week I wanted to do Lucha Underground. I wanted to do NXT. And if you want a little recap of what I thought of those shows, I mean, Lucha Underground, for once I can say, it didn't feel like a really special episode of Lucha Underground. I'm not a big fan of the Ran Chavo stuff. NXT, I'm not a big fan of, holding a show in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic in 2 different buildings. I feel like there's a huge disconnect there. I mean, like, there really is a huge disconnect with that crap. And I would say I'd like it to stop, but there's no point, because later today on Wednesday, while I'm recording this now, there's going to be an episode of NXT that's the exact same thing again. So they're in San Jose and Full Sail. They're going to be in Full Sail and wherever they hold NXT house shows in Los Angeles. So it is what it is, man. I mean, it's just all right. Okay, so let's get into SmackDown. So we get AJ Styles coming out, and basically it's them talking crap about James Ellsworth, Dean Ambrose. He wants to call his team to address them about Raw, blah, blah, blah. And it just leads to a 6-man tag. I mean, I'm just not going to break that entire thing down. It leads to a 6-man tag. Shane McMahon comes out, eventually puts down a 6-man tag match. And that's really about that. I mean, it's a 6-man tag. It's Corbin, Ambrose, and Ellsworth versus the New Look Wyatt family. Harper, Wyatt, Orton. Now, with that being said, Baron Corbin eventually does decide to drop out. He's like, I'm not fighting the 6-man tag, but, I'm just not going to do it. So then, again, we hear, right after this segment, we get Shane McMahon in the back saying, you're going to face a superstar who's come back from the dead, who we haven't seen in months, who we honestly thought probably got arrested for something. Hell, you know what? There's a joke that doesn't even need to be made here. Because for those who don't know already, and you're living under a rock, Donnie Trump is your president, baby. Donnie Trump for president 2016. Now, obviously, I'm not. I'll give you my complete honest stance on this. I'm not happy. I honestly don't like the guy. That's as far as I'm going to go to say that. We're going to move on before I get a bunch of hate for absolutely no reasons. Kalisto. Kalisto's going to be the one facing Corbin tonight, and Corbin just seems like he has a look on his face like, come on, bro. Like, I just beat this man's ass like 3 straight times. Why do you want me to go out there and fight him again? There is no point to this 0 point. Settle. I have settle Miano. Settle. Miano. I have 0 fear. What is the point of this? That's just basically what you get from this. All right, so with that being said, after this, we get Tyler Breeze, and Fandango versus the Vaudevillains. And honestly, the Vaudevillains, to me, they're dead in water at this point. They're the Ascension 2.0. And, I mean, I said the last time I did this Smackdown Live review last week, I am learned to respect Connor and Victor, and after all they've been through, and I've learned to appreciate them more. And I was just being nitpicky and saying, I like the gimmick, not the guys. I've come around on Connor and Victor, I must say. But what sucks is they're not going to get a chance. And with the Vaudevillains, I don't see that coming around because I was never a huge fan of them to begin with. I felt like as much as multiple people felt like that Vaudevillain gimmick was a Full Sail thing only, and it only would have worked in Full Sail University. And while that's a fair argument, I have to say, if they don't make them hokey and pokey, like some people feel like the Vaudevillain thing is just like, ha ha, we're going to tie you down to a train and kill you, ha ha. Like, this isn't Lucha Underground where something like that would totally seem like, okay, if you actually heard somebody say, I'll tie you to a train and kill you, you take it 100% for what it is. As in WWE, when you hear somebody say it, you're just like, okay, that's complete bullshit. And while the Vaudevillains haven't said that and or done that, I do want to say that it's also not fair because WWE hasn't really given them a chance to really, like, show the gimmick. Like, they did a couple black and white promos a couple times. Other than that, they completely show them in the ring. Now WWE has just neutered the gimmick. The only thing they have is the representation of it in the ring, which they don't get much offense in, so it's not that much to show. And the entrance, where you can't really show it because the black and white is gone. So the WWE has completely cut these guys out at the knees, and they don't really have much. So I don't know where the Vaudevillains go from here. I just don't. Okay. But Breezango, Fabriz gets the win with Fandango hitting a Falcon Arrow suplex, and that was it for the win. Okay, so up next is Naomi versus Natalya. And honestly, this was pretty short, and it did nothing but show tension between the Survivor Series team for the girls on SmackDown. And I mean, I go through YouTube and I watch the Raw women's segments, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you right now. Just Naomi versus Natalya, this honestly kind of sucks to me because let's look at it this way: Naomi and Natalya are having a match. Natalya's the coach of the team. You figure Natalya wouldn't be so I'm better than you. I know I'm better than you. Like, there's this huge disconnect with Natalya because she's acting like such a face backstage in front of Shane and Daniel, and she's coming out and having these matches like, yeah, I'm going to be a complete heel, and everything I've said about being coach and all that crap just doesn't exist now, and I'm not here to better or motivate you. I'm here to tear you down while I'm in the ring with you, emasculate you, and show you, well, if Natalya is better than me, what makes you think I belong on this team? Which is just completely stupid to me because Natalya should be coaching this girl along. Like, if she has her in her head, like, come on. Like, I know I'm good, but you have to do better. You're on the team. I'm not. Come on, Naomi. Just, like, motivate her and just, like, push her to that next level. Just, like, be, like, really irritating about it. Like, when she does the scream. Because tonight, she did the scream, and she let us know what day it is. Natalya, thank you. I now know that tomorrow, guaranteedly so, there will be an NXT and Lucha Underground review on this channel. The DIY Wrestling Podcast. We out here, boys. And Natalya has let us all know that it is Tuesday, my dudes. And then she did all, yeah! I should forewarn people before I do that, honestly. Okay, so this is where Carmella comes out. And then Natalya gets in between Nikki and Carmella and tries to make them stop fighting. Like, come on now. Just, you guys fighting now. Come on. Just stay together, girls. Natalya gets pushed to the ground, keeps her cool, and then poor Carmella, R.I.P. eats a forearm from Nikki right in the mouth. And that was pretty much about that at this point. And Natalya got back in the ring after this because Nikki said, "You don't want to lose your match." And then Naomi rolled her up. So the only progression we get anywhere here is between Carmella and Nikki, and not as a team building. Like, it's 5-on-5. You had 4 girls out there, obviously. Well, probably, yeah, 5-on-5. You had 4 of the girls out there. The other 2, I understand, were in a title match, but you couldn't do anything more with this. Like, you couldn't have, like, you couldn't just have these girls like come out and have a promo. Like, you couldn't have Nikki come out and just do something. Because my point here is the girls on Monday Night Raw, they're coming out here and Charlotte, I mean, I understand where SmackDown's going with this. Like, they're running with the simplistic, simple booking that pleases fans, but at the same time, it doesn't get you anywhere. You have, this developing story on Raw. Can Charlotte keep her ego in? Can Charlotte keep her ego in check before her teammates turn on her? Like girls like Sasha and Bayley. And I know that may not exactly be where that's headed because I just don't. I don't completely see what they're trying to do, but it's just like Charlotte. I feel like WWE's trying to do this thing where Charlotte's saying she's better than her teammates, but just so she can say she's better than her teammates. Like, she's not trying to do that to bring out the best. And like, oh, Bayley's the weak link. I don't feel like it's bringing out the best in her. I just feel like it's Charlotte just saying she's the best because she can and to fill television time, and they want to give the women time so people don't complain. It's nothing more than that to me, honestly. So SmackDown could have these women come out and do something and have sense behind it. Like Natalya, like with being the coach, run with that shit, dude. Like, you can run behind all her years in the dungeon, all her years in New Japan. Like, as bad as Natalya is, it's not hard for you to just write her a script, say something, and then have the other girls piggyback off of it, and then tease the tension a little bit. Like, as long as you know there's tension, you have an interesting story here. You don't just have to have Nikki and Carmella just beat the shit out of each other until it just seems like such the norm, such the use, and it's just okay. All right, okay, this is what we have here. All right, okay. So with that being said, we're gonna move on. And the next thing we have here would be Kalisto versus Baron Corbin. So this is really interesting because Kalisto wants to get in the ring, and he's doing his usual lucha. He jumps over the top rope, and Corbin eats his head alive with a lariat. Just completely knocks this man down. There's an old Rey Mysterio slide off the stomach bump to the outside of the ring. Corbin gets in the apron, slips off like a giant dummy, and then Kalisto drop kicks his knee as the steel steps, hurts him even more because Corbin tweaked the knee coming down, and then Corbin gets frog splashed on from the top rope. So who's the face here? I mean, I am a Kalisto fan through and through, but I'm gonna ask the question, and I need it to be answered. Who's the face here? I mean, Kalisto is not supposed he's not supposed to feed off of that. He's just supposed to I understand the man's been made look like a pussy forever, but I thought you were all about honor and pride and fighting somebody at their strongest. Like, you want to be the best. You don't just want to go out and vindictively take your rage out on a guy who's been bullying you. I understand you want to get your revenge, but it was pointless to me. Like, not pointless, but I understand where they're going with that. But come on, I feel like I'm just nitpicking this to pieces. But at the end of the day, come on, dude. Okay. Up next, we get Shane McMahon being told that Corbin won't be able to compete at Survivor Series, and then Miz and Maurice walk in, and Miz is doing this thing where he's not talking, and it's just it's nothing really important. It's just Maurice and Daniel Bryan going back and forth with banter. It happened in Talking Smack too. So if you want to go back and watch Talking Smack, please do, because it's a show that definitely needs the views before that thing goes off the air and they stop with it entirely. Up next, we got Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. Now, let me talk about Alexa Bliss real quick. Because this girl has come through an NXT where she just did nothing but roll-ups and like little combinations and her flips and showing off her athletic background to learning how to put things together to the point where she's like not the best, but she's excuse me. She's very much so passable to the point where it's like she can put together a well thought out, well drawn out match. But is she like the perfect athlete? Not perfect. Is she like the perfect wrestler? Honestly, not at this point, because I mean, I know Becky can do this, but I know Alexa may need some more work at it. I mean, obviously, the end putting that together is like, boom, you've got me drawn, you got me hooked. Oh my god, what's gonna happen? I'm sitting here, but where are we going with it? I mean, like, where? How do I put this? Okay, you got to learn to hook me from the start, because you can't hit me through the start. I'm not sitting here through the middle and the epic ending, or the middle and the controversial ending, depending on how you look at it. Me, controversial, because it's just at least another Alexa Becky match. And honestly, now that I think about it, this is probably a smart idea for them to do it this way, because then again, what does SmackDown have? A week? 1 or 2 weeks? So, okay, hold on. TLC is on December 4th, I think. Survivor Series is on the 20th. Okay, so they have 2 weeks of television. At this point in time, what they could do is they could use these next few weeks, these next 4 weeks, to build Alexa Becky 2 for TLC, because they don't really have any time to establish anything else. So I can kind of understand why they did this. All right. And for anybody else who doesn't know, Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles is announced for TLC and the TLC match. That was announced on Talking Smack. More reasons why you should probably go watch Talking Smack and look at the promo that Alexa Bliss cut on there, and how she sold Becky Lynch's disarmer like Becky Lynch is a fucking killer, and I appreciate the hell out of that for her. Now, throughout the rest of the match, it was pretty good, pretty solid. Ends with Becky Lynch locking in a disarmer on Alexa Bliss to the point where Alexa did tap out, but her back foot was on the ropes, and her foot was on the ropes for about 6 years, honestly. I mean, and the ref she tapped out. The ref called it. The ref was stupid. And then, whose man's is Shane McMahon? Because this man just tried to tell everybody, well, the ref made a decision. Decision's a decision. Moving on. Alexa Bliss doesn't get shit out. Fuck this bitch. Like, that's exactly how Shane McMahon came off. And it's just, no. Like, no, dude. You can't do that to her. You can't. Like, just, no, dude. All right. Because, honestly, that was wrong. But that might get switched. I don't know. But the way Alexa, like, okay, Alexa Bliss on the way out was like selling her arm like this, where she couldn't, like, she had to hold it because she thought it was broken. But these are just little details that make Alexa Bliss as great as she is. It's honestly like Sasha Banks reincarnate through Alexa Bliss as a heel, because when Sasha was great as a heel, this is exactly what she was like. Everything was great, man. Back to the good old days. But we're gonna move forward. From here, give me a second, people. My phone is loading slow. All right, well, I'm just gonna improvise because my phone's being stupid. But from here, we get I'm gonna go with Curt Hawkins and Apollo Crews, because this was very interesting to me, and this is just a confirmation of R.I.P. to Apollo Crews. I mean, this man's career is done. I mean, this man just, yep, and this is exactly where we're next. Curt Hawkins got a win over Apollo Crews, the second coming of Jesus. The second coming of Jesus, Curt Hawkins. The man who had a great match with Trent on Superstars 8 years ago. That man, Curt Hawkins. You know, this guy, Curt Hawkins. Curt Hawkins. Curt Hawkins. Curt Hawkins. We had Apollo Crews after Apollo Crews did a bunch of flippy shit and whatever. that was really about that. I have nothing further to say from there. Up next, we get our main event, and this just leads, honestly, like you guys know, I'm not really a huge fan of these matches, but it actually is trying to progress a team building exercise for these guys. And Kane and Luke Harper end up fighting in the back, and it's just Ellsworth and Dean left, and Dean gets blind tagged by Ellsworth. Ellsworth goes for no chin music. It gets reversed. And Dean, no chin music. It gets reversed. Sister Abigail. And then Dean and Ellsworth are eventually up on their feet, about to get jumped like earlier in the night, while AJ Styles was on commentary, who got up and got in the ring for this. And then out comes Shane McMahon. And then Daniel Bryan comes out to follow. And then what do? They just say, hey, you know what? You gave me a list earlier, Daniel, because Daniel gave Shane McMahon a list earlier of names to throw out for this match. And he's like, hey, you gave me a list, Daniel. Oh, hey, you gave me a list, Shane. So you know what? My name is on this list, and you guys know I'm not allowed to wrestle. And like I like to just had to throw that out there just to like tell people, hey, campaign on Twitter to let me fucking wrestle. I just felt like that's what Daniel Bryan was doing there. But he said, I've picked a name, and he's like, you know what? How would you, Shane McMahon, like to do this? So I was talking to Caleb earlier, and he makes a really valid point. And he said, well, Caleb, you guys know, I've been on the podcast before. And Caleb said to me, you have a bunch of veterans in NXT. Rude, Nakamura. Austin Aries is just disabled right now. You have Rude, you have Nakamura, you have, well, at that one point in time, you had Aries and all those guys. But you have all these guys in NXT who I can't even come to think of right now. Samoa Joe. All these guys. And then you pick a 46, probably 47-year-old man at this point to come in and wrestle 14 SmackDown. So I'd only have to assume Shane is in this match to make somebody look good. I'm pretty sure Shane is in this match so Braun Strowman can delete his goddamn life. Most likely. So with that being said, that was SmackDown. Everybody celebrates and they go off the air, and then Talking Smack starts. If you want to go see Talking Smack, I suggest you watch it. Really good stuff with Breezango. Febreze, damn it. Febreze. Really good stuff for Febreze. Alexa Bliss has an ice pack wrapped around her arm, and she's still holding it. And she talks about her elbow being messed up in like 6 to 8 different places. And one more thing, if you guys hear that beeping outside, that beep, 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 like the truck backing up, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. This is just getting my video anxiety. This is just getting into my video anxiety. Anyways, and you have the Miz and Maurice, and Miz continuing to whisper into Maurice's ear, Maurice force-feeding the Miz. And Maurice gets turned on Talking Smack. If you want to see what I'm talking about, go watch it. She gets turned on about Miz talking into her ear. So go watch it. So that's it for SmackDown Live. Like I said, not the best episode, but definitely not bad. Not bad at all. They honestly have done better and could do better, but by any means, not bad. If we're putting it in simple SmackDown standards, not the best. But if we're comparing it to Raw, no matter what, it's better. I mean, because Raw is just 3 hours and it just, no. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.